Alright, so this is the test of the auto switching module, as you'll see here. As we can see, we have a power supply that basically works as the wall power. 12 volts there. You can see right now there's no load on it. We have battery, 12 volts there, and then as far as the circuit goes, we have push buttons that will apply battery voltage, 12 volts, to the switching module, and then this LED right here is the load. So you have the LED for the battery, LED for the load, and then you have an LED for the wall. And when we hit these switches, it will apply 12 volts to the module and then put 12 volts to the load. So obviously what we want to see is that this module keeps the load powered on battery power and then favors wall power. And then we also have a voltmeter here that shows what voltage the load is seeing. So we'll start with the battery. As we can see, we have battery power on, 12 volts on the load, and we have that LED. The next thing we'll see is there's a little LED here on the module for when it is using wall power. So we will turn on wall power, and then we have an LED on that module, and then we have an LED here showing that wall power is now supplying the load. And then if you look at the power supply, it even says 0.066 milliamps is being taken from the power supply in terms of amperage load. And then you still have roughly 12 volts on the load. And then now when I remove wall power, still has 12 volts, that's on, we have LED on, and then we no longer have a load on the power supply. Then we remove all power and all the voltage is gone. So that is simulating when someone is hooked up to battery and then plugs in and it favors the wall. We can also show that just on wall power alone, everything's powered. You can see 66 milliamps. If someone comes in and hooks up the battery, we see that battery LED is on, but the power supply is still taking all the amperage, and it's not using battery power. So there we hear that. And then just for reference, every time you hit wall power, you can kind of hear this relay clicking. Maybe you can hear that, maybe you can't. But anyway, we have shown that it can work on battery power, it can work on wall power, and when it is on battery power, the module favors wall power.